everybody, welcome back to the Pearls and Page Turners podcast. I hope you guys have been well. It is the weekend after Thanksgiving for those in America, and I am full. My parents came to a full house, and it's very nice. They cooked lots of food for us. We had lots of Filipino food. We had one traditional American Thanksgiving dish, which was sweet potato casserole, which in my recipe I swap it out with Korean sweet potatoes, so still not even the full traditional version, but it's delicious. I will be having some later. But I'm here and I wanted to record a new podcast episode for you all, so let's get into it. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate it. We're doing a regular knitting podcast this week, and I can't wait to show you guys all the progress I've made. I have done quite a bit of knitting, which is very exciting. So, to start off with what I'm wearing, this is just a store-bought knit vest from Zara. I've had it for over a year now. My mom gifted it to me, so I keep it in my wardrobe. I wanted to wear knitwear, but I didn't want to wear sleeves, and all my knitwear has sleeves, so I was like, not today. But on to finished objects. So I actually have two finished objects for you guys. You guys should have seen it if you've been following my Instagram. My husband and I went to Iceland. I think it's 3 weeks now, almost a month. We left the 28th of October. And you guys know that I've been working on knitting matching knitwear sweaters for me and my husband, and I did it. I finished my sweater 6 hours before our flight, so it was wild. I decided for some reason I wanted to wet block this sweater instead of just steam it, but thankfully in Iceland they have radiators, so I was able to dry out my sweater before I needed to wear it, because I needed to also wear it. So we flew out on a Saturday night, arrived Sunday morning, and by Sunday night I needed to be able to wear the sweater. So I don't know why I thought that, but I did it. It was great. I'm happy. And here they are. So the first one is my sweater, which is the Ranunculus by Midori Hirose. I knit this in one strand of Nutiden Dis and one strand of Explorer Knits and Fibers Fiadh in their Suri silk base. I am very happy. Some modifications I did is I didn't do the short rows for the front. I liked that look better instead of I like more of a crew neck look. I saw it done by, her name is Knit and Grace on Instagram, Mia. I saw her version of it and I really like that look. My first Ranunculus has the front short row shaping, and it's actually something I did enjoy, but when I first knitted, I was a new knitter, so I just followed the pattern, and it's great now being able to knit things and know what modifications I want in my knitwear. So I will say I am going to cut into this. When I knit this sweater, the sleeve fit perfectly, and then of course knitted and grows, so when I wet blocked it, it grew substantially, and it covers about like up to here on my hand, which I don't mind. When I wore it out in Iceland, I enjoyed it, but I don't think it's something I would reach for on a daily basis. So I think I'm going to do that later today. If I feel like if I don't just cut into it, I'm never going to do it. And I worry with Nutiden is if I don't just do it, I won't be able to undo the knitting because it's unspun, which I'm like worried I'm already at that point. We'll see. I really hope not. I don't know, I'm nervous. A part of me like wants to keep it because I'm afraid of undoing Nutiden, but I mean, we live and learn, you learn. So I love this sweater. It's perfect. It just makes me happy. So that's that. First finished object. The second one is my husband's sweater, which is PetiteKnit's Ingrid sweater. I knit the female version, not the, what is it? Boyfriend version? His version? Ingrid sweater man, I think is what it's called. I knit the original one. As you all know, this was meant to be for me. I was knit this for the Maryland Ship and Wool Festival and it didn't work out, and then it also just wasn't my size. So this was the true labor of love. You all know I had to crowdsource the Nutiden to be able to finish this, and then I ended up having extra to be able to knit my Ranunculus. But I am so happy that it's finished. My husband loved it. He wore it. We went out to see the Northern Lights in the middle of the night, and he wore it, and he said it kept him very warm, and he can't wait to wear it this winter season. This was knit in, I knit it with the stitches of the second size, which is normally my PetiteKnit size. And I don't know how I got here, but this is knit with 2 strands of Nutiden disc and 1 strand of Explorer Knits and Fibers Fiadh in their Suri silk base. I knit everything to pattern. I did not omit any rows. I was very thankful that I got the extra yarn because I knit the sleeves fully to pattern and the body fully to pattern. If you all have been following me, I pretty much had every part of the sweater on hold, and I was knitting each part one at a time back and forth, trying to get as most out of the sweater. And then when I was able to source more yarn, I was able to knit everything fully. So I'm very thankful. I did the double folded knit band and I knitted down to bind off, and that's that. I am looking forward to being able to wear this sweater and having a very nice oversized piece of knitwear. So those are my 2 finished objects. Now onto whips, which one is one that I've shared in the past in my old podcast. And if you've seen, I don't know if I've actually put it on my Instagram, but I should soon. But this is what I've been traveling with when we went to California for my friend's wedding, and when we went to Iceland, this is what I was knitting on. And it is PetiteKnit's Louvre sweater. I have been knitting on this since April of 2022. It is taking me a hot minute. It will probably take me the full 2 years before this is finished because I just like chip away at it slowly. This is the front. It is what it is. It's a small gauge, but I'm really enjoying it. I love the color. I am hopeful that I can prioritize this at some point, but you know me, I'm a mood knitter. But I feel like we're getting to a point now where I'm almost where I can start knitting the ribbing for the body. I think I have maybe 2 more inches left of the body, but I have made significant progress. I think the last time I shared this, I had just split for the sleeves. So we've made quite a bit of progress, and I'm very happy. I love the way it feels. I love the color, and I can't wait to just be able to wear this already. I know this is a piece I'll be wearing a lot, especially to work because it's very nice and professional looking. I'm knitting this in 1 strand of, this is Periwinkle Fiber Company, I believe, in the color Copper Pipe, on their mohair silk base. It's a beautiful color. And with 2 strands of Holst Garn Noble in the color Cider. This is a yarn that is discontinued. I pretty much bought every ball of this yarn that I could when I found out they were discontinuing it because I love it and I didn't know how much I was going to need for this sweater. And if I have extras, I'm going to make accessories with it because I do love the way it feels. It's 95% Geelong wool, 5% cashmere wool. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. I wish I had more of this yarn, but I'm glad I will at least have enough to make a sweater. So 2 strands of that. And it is beautiful. So we're slowly chipping away at it. It's coming together. And the next ones that I have for you guys is a pair of socks. I've been chipping away at this for years as well. I knit this sock. I think 2 years ago. And then I was trying to finish it by Halloween and I didn't do it, and then we moved and then I didn't pick it back up. So I decided I wanted to just get it off my needles already. I have finished the leg and the heel. This is a Fish Lips Kiss heel in garter stitch. It is not my favorite heel, however it is what I knit 2 years ago, so I need to make matching ones. I didn't want to change the heel significantly. But it's chugging along. I hopefully will have this finished soon. So whenever we go out walking, this is what I like to take with me just to get it done. And I think I only have one last whip for you guys that I've been making progress on, which is the one I've been making the most progress on, and one that I cast on while we were in Iceland. So as you all know, I have more than enough unspun wool in my knitting cabinet, my yarn cabinet. I share all the time how unspun, I have a love and hate with unspun. I love it, but then when it's time to finish, I hate it. I told myself I wasn't intending to buy unspun yarn when I went to Iceland because there were so many other yarns that I wanted. But then when I saw it, I was like, it's Icelandic wool in Iceland because that's where Plotulopi is made. I love Plotulopi. I wasn't like super set on it. I was like, I told myself I didn't really think I was gonna buy any, and then I saw this color and I fell in love, and I immediately knew what pattern I wanted to knit it in. I didn't buy it the first day I saw it. I was like, let me stew on it. 2 days later, I went and bought a sweater's quantity. So it is the Tulip sweater by Melody Hoffman, or B Mandarins. It has the scalloped hem on the body, and as you can see, I have made significant progress. I started knitting this the last day we were in Iceland, and I think by the time we got off the plane back into America, I had finished the yoke. So the gauge is large and it's perfect and it's so easy to get through. So I love it. I also love, my favorite thing, I love knitting Melody's patterns because she doesn't do long turtlenecks, which I do love long turtlenecks, but it is nice to get a break where you only have to knit a couple rounds of ribbing and then you're on to the body, because we all know ribbing is the bane of my existence. I will say I did modify the sleeves. So I knit the body to pattern, which I really like. I'm knitting the cropped version. When I tried it on, it was perfect. I originally just went straight into the scalloped edge, and I finished it and I was staring at it and I was like, I don't really know if I like it. And I was looking at the photos and I realized almost everybody did the taller scallop, so they knit a couple rounds of ribbing and then they do the short rows for it. So what I did is I knit 5 rows of ribbing before I moved on to the scalloped edge, and I really like that. I like the length of it. I like the way it looks, the way it lies on my body. I'm very happy. And then with the sleeve, I actually knit, there's a certain amount of decreases you have to do for the sleeve. And I got to, I think I had like three more decreases left when I tried it on. No, I had 2 more decreases left before I tried it on. I realized that I would only need 1.5 inches more of sleeve to be bracelet length, which is my preference. So I undid the last set of rows to the decrease before that. And I wanted to get to the last decrease that the pattern called for because I wanted that tapered look. I knew because we weren't gonna get to that, the lowest amount of stitches, that when I did my cuff, it wouldn't be snug. And I do like a snug cuff. I don't like it where it's like straight. So what I did was I did the last 3 decreases that I needed to do in the cuff. So basically however many rows I needed to do between each decrease, I did that as well in the ribbing. So I ended up doing the final decrease to get to the last amount of stitches that the pattern calls for. I did 1 round of ribbing and then I bound off in the 2 meter bind off, and it is perfect. It's the perfect length and I got all the stitches off that I wanted, so I'm very happy. So I will be doing that with the second sleeve. I don't really want to go too into detail on how, like, the numbers and stuff, just because it is a paid for pattern. However, if you have the Tulip sweater and you're curious about how I did it, just reach out to me on Instagram and I'd be glad to share if you have the Tulip sweater and want to make those modifications. I believe Melody's arms are just longer than mine. I don't know. Or no, that's not what it is. Because I checked the measurements on the pattern, and I actually do have the exact measurements she calls for. I think my row gauge is off, which I never really pay too much attention to row gauge, just because you can always modify everything like I did. I normally only care about stitch gauge, so I made up for it, and it's perfect. I'm very happy with it. So I think I have, how many do I have? How many have I done? I'm halfway done with the sleeve portion before I have to do the cuff. So I'm excited. I know this will knit up fast. This will definitely be a finished object by the next time you see me. So I can't wait. We're going down south back home for Christmas. So I have no need for a sweater like this, but I might just wear it. I might take it out on Christmas Day just to wear a nice red sweater and then take it off because I know I'll be sweating. But I'm very, very happy. I am knitting this in 2 strands of Plotulopi in this red color. This is my last plate, which I'm kind of hoping I won't need to get into, but looking at how much I have left, how much sleeve I have to do, I think I will be, which I am thankful that I got it. I originally only bought 3 plates because that's what the pattern called for my size, but I told myself it just wasn't worth the risk not getting the extra plate, especially because it was so affordable in Iceland. In case I couldn't finish the sweater and I'd have to order online, and it would just cost more in the end because I would have had to pay for shipping. It costs more in general buying it somewhere in America. So I got it and I'm glad I did. And I did the same with the mohair that I hold it with, and I'm also very glad that I did. I actually don't think I need the extra ball of mohair. Yeah, I do have it in my yarn cabinet. I definitely won't be needing it, but I'm glad I did just in case, because I feel like you just never know. I don't think I'll be using too much of this. So I'm gonna see if I can make a cute little accessory with it. But anyway, I'm holding it with 1 strand of Filcolana Tilia. Where did I put the ball band? Filcolana Tilia in the color 218. But if I'm correct, the name for this color is Chinese red. So I'm very happy with that. I definitely want to keep getting back to this. This is what I've been keeping on my couch because I'm always like, oh, whenever I get a chance to knit, I want to knit on this. And that is it. I do have a small acquisitions section for you guys because in my Iceland vlog, I shared my huge haul from all the yarn I got there, but these are some yarns that I got outside of that trip, so I wanted to share it here. When I went to California for my friend's wedding, we hung out with one of my friends, and I asked if we could make it to a yarn shop, which we did find one in town, and they were super nice. I forgot what it was called. I'll have to look into it. But I wanted to buy something there, and when I saw this yarn, I knew originally I wanted to get Noro yarn in the Silk Garden Sock Solo, but they didn't have the color I wanted, so which is fine. I knew I was going to Iceland and I was like, let me not do that right now. But then I saw this and I knew I wanted to knit in this. This is Barocco Ultra Alpaca. I know it's not a special yarn, but I saw it and I was like, yes, that's it. I got it in the color 6277, which is a forest green color. It's 50% superfine alpaca, 50% Peruvian wool. And this is what I want to make PetiteKnit's zipper sweater in. I do have a mohair that matches the color. And I'll be knitting that one of these days. So I got a sweater's quantity of that and I'm so happy. And the last one is, sorry for the crinkles, Tiny Human Knits 1989. I forget, it says in parentheses LV. I'm not really sure what that means. I got this color because my brother-in-law's fiance is a huge Taylor Swift fan, and I saw this and I knew this would be something she would enjoy. So I'm gonna make her a pair of socks in this color. It is inspired by a sweater Taylor's wearing in one of her albums. Laura matched the stripes to the sweater and I knew I just had to have it. So I got the DK version in 100 grams. And the factory seconds of the fingering weight in 100 grams, their sock set. So I'm gonna make myself a pair just because I'm not a big Swiftie, but I love Flora's yarns. So and the factory seconds were there and I was like, let me just get it. So there's that. Now for my books that I've read in the last month. So this is the page turn portion of the podcast. I will just be doing this episode's version where I'll just share a photo of the book and give you my star rating for it. If you guys want to talk more about it, I love talking about books, and you want to hear my thoughts, leave a comment below which book you want to talk about, or message me on Instagram. I generally just really love talking about books. So, okay. So the first book, I don't know if I finished this one in the last episode, so I'll just say it again. I read Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, which is book 1 of the Red Queen series. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I listened to it part audiobook, part physical reading. I really like the reader, so I know I'm going to be giving the audiobook more. I'll probably read the rest of the series via audiobook, so. Then I finished Mirror Sight by Kristen, which is book 5 in the Green Rider series. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. This is the most disliked book in the series, but I really enjoyed it. I feel like there's a lot that I really enjoyed seeing of the main character. Her name is Kerrigan. Her viewpoint on different things happening in her life, and I did enjoy it, and I can't wait to continue the series. Then I read The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. This is a novella. I know there's a lot of different ways people choose to read the novella. I read it after book 3, which I feel is great. Now being in book 4, I feel like it set up a lot for me to understand. There's a lot of things that are addressed in book 4 that directly correlate with events that happened in the prequel novellas. I gave this book 4 stars. I very much enjoyed it. It did ruin my peace. I do not see why people are like, when they do rereads, they just skip Assassin's Blade. It's very emotional. Then I read A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, which is book 4 in the ACOTAR series, the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, which is so funny. So my initial favorite book in the series is book 2, A Court of Mist and Fury. If you know, you know. But the main character in this book is Nesta, which is one of Feyre, the main character in the first 3 books, her sister. She was my least favorite character in the entire series. I really did not enjoy her character. However, Sarah J. Maas just knows what she's doing, and this is not my favorite book in the series. I gave this 5 stars. I love the new world building that they've been doing. I do see a lot of the setup for what's going on in her world, and I can't wait to read more about it. And then I read A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber, which is book 3 and the final book in the A Curse for True Love trilogy. I really enjoyed it. I know I saw a lot of mixed reviews on it online based off how people wanted it to end. I really liked it. I thought it was cute. And in the epilogue, Stephanie Garber addresses something that I feel all the readers have been wondering about the whole time. And I thought it was funny how she handled it, and I thought it was cute. So I enjoyed it. 5 stars. Then I finished Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, which is book 2 in the Empyrean series. I know there's a lot of people who have a lot of opinions on this series because of the overhypedness, the way it's written, the dialogue. There's a lot of things, but to each their own. I really enjoyed it, and I gave this book 5 stars. Then I read Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I gave it 3 stars. That does seem low, but personally for me, 3 stars is still, I would still recommend it, and I still enjoyed it, and I will be continuing the series. There's more books in the series. There's book 1 of Stalking Jack the Ripper, which it's funny that that's what it's called. Every book afterwards is its own name, so I don't know why, but I really did like it. It's YA. I think that's why I have a slightly lower rating. I feel like the romance was not as big of a plot point, and I do enjoy romance plot points in fantasy books as well. So, but we'll be continuing the series. And then I just recently finished Kingdom of the Wicked, which is the first book in the Kingdom of the Wicked series by Carrie Maniscalco as well. I gave this one 4 stars. I am very excited. I listened to the audiobook for this one and for Stalking Jack the Ripper. I do like both readers, and I will be continuing both series via audiobook. So I really enjoyed it, and that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. Please let me know what you've been knitting on while watching, or what you have been reading recently. I saw someone commented on my last podcast that they were reading Divine Rivals, and I just got the book, so I think I will be reading that very soon. I know I've heard so many people talk such high things about it, and the sequel comes out next month. So we'll see. We'll see if it's in my next episode's finished books. So I'm currently reading. What am I currently reading? I'm currently reading Guild by Raven Kennedy, and I'm really enjoying it. So, and Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I'm continuing the Throne of Glass series. Anyway, diverged from my ending, but yes. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment down below what you're knitting on, what you're reading on, everything. I loved hearing about what you guys are up to. And give this video a like and subscribe if you would like more, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!